with regard to Bitcoin itself, and I think you guys all know this, I posted it in the lounge, and I even tweeted it out because I just wanted the public to be aware that I was willing to take a shot on is this a bottom? I really was. I felt okay about taking the shot. And this was the bottom. It was kind of a sloppy bottom. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was willing to risk this tail. I personally kind of felt like I liked the idea that we were going to dump into these candle body lows, find some support at this trend line, hold this candle tail and reload zone and turn back up. And the market just said, you're wrong. And unfortunately, folks, this is that business where, you are paid to take risks. And I think on balance, I'm okay with this risk that I took. It wasn't too much money. In the greater context, I didn't mind. I mean, think of it this way. The long shot that I took was to buy there and to risk to there. So, half of what we do as technicians is we want to try and find these little windows where if I was right and this turned out to be a daily double bottom and we went up and moving average started to break out and all right, higher highs and higher, okay, fine, whatever. But is there a way I can see that if price moves against me, proves that my thesis is wrong, I can be told very quickly and very efficiently that, nope, it's not a good trade, and you should probably get the hell out of there. That's the whole point of hunting for these W's. I suppose one could argue you probably see a little bit better there off of there is that daily chart. So that was that trade that I was in. And, Hogue used to always say, and I highly respect it, if anything, if you do go and buy this level here and this trade doesn't work, well, you're going to find out pretty damn quickly. So it didn't take me too long to find out that, yep, I was wrong. And I didn't have to risk a hell of a lot of money. It was just a few $100. It is a trader's life. It's the way it goes. And you got to live by the sword. You got to die by the sword. So I'm okay with booking that kind of loss. That kind of loss to me is not that big of a deal. I guess the issue here, and this is where I was going on about earlier, that I wanted to show you guys all these long-term charts and all these studies, is that ironically enough, this silly Bitcoin, it's just so cliche. It drives you nuts. So a quick sort of review, and of course we'll do lots of this tonight with the boys. Ben and Paul, but just sort of a review of what I sort of see, cycle wise. I had drawn this out for everybody, about a year or two ago, and then I kind of just sort of forgot about it. But interesting, look how I had this on here. And look where my prediction for the dump was. I was thinking it would happen into the end of the year. But the irony of all of this is exactly what happened here. I mean, look at this darn date. This drives you crazy. And I even remember sort of scolding myself. We got to get through November. We got to get through November. And we even talked about this, how they lulled everybody last cycle into believing that 6,000 was a floor. And I think they basically did exactly the same darn thing with like 18,000. So is that like maybe like a 3x reference? Actually, that's not a bad way to think about it. But you can see, down against it, away, down against it, away, down against it, and then puke out. And look at that. November 12th. I mean, like, that's ridiculous. That's 3 days away. So frustrating. So what a surprise, Oh, God, drives you nuts. Down against, what's that low there? 17,592, then what's that low? 18,157, then 18,183, and then boom. Now our low here today, 16,875. And I think I heard some people in the, or not heard, there's Fred over there saying that the forwards are actually below 16,000 now. I don't know whether they are or not. Oh, I guess, yeah, we spiked down there low of 16,380. So not quite, that's on the micro. On the big boy, 15,850. So there you go, below 16. And this is what kills you is this is everything that I teach you guys. So A, B, C, D. We should put on here A, B, C, D price objective. Also, too, what was so cool about this one, of course, is the shelf in the volume profile. You can clearly see the top of the volume profile is that level. So what's going to end up happening here is the market's just going to bang hard as nails into that level and then probably ricochet away from it. So this is going to be a bit of a tough sled here, folks. Moving averages negative. You see the moving averages, they didn't turn back up. They started to turn back up in the summer of 15, but really the bottom, and I remember this specifically, this was the Silk Road, the second government auction. This was the first one up here. Tim Draper paid like $650 for his Bitcoins. This was the second one right through there. And of course, this event here, because of the big price move up, it sort of completely erased the whole sort of negative sentiment around this whole bottoming. So, if somebody was going to say, well, Brian, you want to, put on your predictor's hat, what do you think the next 6 months are going to actually really the next year? It's going to look like, I think it's going to look something like that. So we can take this back to the future. I could easily see something along those lines. Something like that. That wouldn't surprise me at all.